How's it going, movie and TV fans? Welcome back to another review on the channel, and again, once again, for the second time, I've said this. Happy Halloween, everyone! Happy spooky day, everyone! Hope you're having fun and enjoying it. I've just, as of the time this video has been uploaded, the Halloween 2018 review, the first part of this two-part Halloween special is now out. Go check it out. This is the second part of that special, where we're talking about Halloween Kills, the recently released movie. Yes, you heard that right, released 9 days ago. I'm talking about a movie 9 days after its release. This is the first time this has ever happened, but I'm doing it because, one, there's an easy way to watch this movie online now, because it was streaming on Peacock in America, and you can find illegal ways to watch the Peacock version in the UK, because Peacock isn't available in the UK. So there's that. So, and also I've got a written review of it on Letterboxd, and I tend to use when I'm talking about these. Like I did it with Free Guy. I've got a written review on Letterboxd. I write that before I recorded the review, and I use that as a basis, which is why, in my personal opinion, I thought that video came out really good. But yeah, this is Halloween Kills. I've seen this movie twice in the cinemas now. I enjoyed it both times, but there are some problems I have with it. So let's get straight into Halloween Kills. Now, Halloween Kills is the newest installment in the iconic horror franchise Halloween. Been going since 1978, 40 plus years now. Brilliant franchise. The original was an iconic movie. The 2018 one is really good. I enjoy 3 quite a lot. Fuck you. I thought 2 was quite fun as well, and I haven't seen the others because, well, I have at this point when you're watching this video, I will have uploaded the reviews of the other ones. So yeah, but this is a big old fucking but. Well, not really. I enjoyed this film, but it does have its flaws in places, and I'm going to be talking about them a lot in this review. So, like I said, I mentioned this in the Halloween 2018 review, but I think this movie has quite a few flaws that I would like to talk about personally. But there are good things as well, so don't get me wrong, we'll be talking about some good stuff as well. But I think its biggest flaw, I think in my personal opinion, is the fact that it introduces lots of new characters and then just kills them all off. It's a waste of potential, and some of them have, you know, some of them lasted near the end of the movie and then get killed off right at the very end when he wakes up again. But some of them have 5 to 10 minutes of screen time and then get killed off immediately. I'm talking about, there's, at the beginning of the movie, you see this couple, they're a man and a woman, they're dressed up in doctors, nurses, in doctor and nurse outfits for the costume party thing, and these two, they introduce it in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. Yeah, and within 15 minutes or so, they're already dead. It's just like, why? What's the point of introducing them if you're going to kill them? Bear in mind, they are actually seen, when I rewatched Halloween 2018, they are seen briefly for about 5 seconds in Halloween 2018, but they have more of a bigger role in Halloween Kills. So I just thought I'd mention that because it's an important thing to get across there. They were there for 5 to 10 minutes, gets killed off immediately. But another problem I have with this movie is Laurie. She's basically bedridden for a good chunk of this movie, and I think that in itself is an issue, because if they were going to bring her back just to pass it on to the other two, they would have killed her off at the end of the last one, which they didn't do. So they kept her alive, but the fact that she's bedridden or incredibly falling on the floor ill means she doesn't have a bigger part in this movie. I understand that it's meant to be focusing on the other two, Alison and Karen, and more specifically, I imagine in this movie's case, Alison. But I just think that there could have been a bit more done to their characters to make them just work a bit better, in my opinion. I think personally there could have been more done. I feel just to let Laurie have more importance in the movie. I hope she has more significance in Halloween Ends, so I'm sure she will. But it's just, I think she's just bedridden for most of this movie, and that's a huge issue for me personally. And I think she needed more to do, and she wasn't given it. But I do like the callbacks to some of the other older characters in the series as well, which is quite cool. And here's a little interesting tidbit that I want to mention. I think I might have mentioned it in the video, I don't know if I did. But I want to mention this, is that Paul Rudd was originally asked to was invited to reprise his role from, I think it was Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers, the 6th one, and the last one to star Donald Pleasance before his death in 1995. But I think he was asked to reprise his role from that movie, but he had to decline because of scheduling conflicts with Ghostbusters Afterlife, both of which movies ended up being delayed. So I'm sure he could have reshot some shit, but I guess that's just not how it works these days. But yeah, I just think to bring in the characters back is something we'll talk about shortly, I assure you. But on to the good stuff now. I really like the flashbacks to 1978. They're really well done, and they look like they're ripped straight out of the original movie in a lot of cases. And I think that's something that the first one missed, was a few flashbacks, maybe just one, but here there's an abundance of them, and they really do expand. I think what they do best here is they expand viewpoints from the original that maybe we didn't see, particularly specifically in the case of Officer Hawkins, who was introduced in the last movie, and they try and say that he was... Well, they don't try and say, they show him deliberately being... they mentioned in the last one that he was there when Michael was captured in 1978 in this version of the timeline, and they show that in this movie in explicit detail with the use of Dr. Loomis is there as well. And quite early on in the movie, the first 5 to 10 minutes after I think one of the things happens, they see him, and I think yeah, and I think they see him and they just take it for granted, I suppose. But I do like that's there. Another scene I want to really talk about is the scene where, again, early on in the movie, where Michael is coming out of the firehouse, out of the house that's on fire, and he kills almost the entire, and I mean the entire, first responders team that comes to the house. He kills them all. And when I said in the review for the last movie that there was more death and more kills in this one, I meant that, because there really is. And again, also the silver shamrock masks are also in this movie as well, and they used it for quite interesting. They've covered the faces of some of the characters that Michael had killed, because there were kids there. He killed all the kids, and then he killed all the adults, and he put the children's silver shamrock masks on over the heads of the adults he killed. So yeah, there's that. But another interesting thing that I want to talk about with this movie is Dr. Loomis, and he's in this movie, and it's not CGI, which is really, like, I didn't expect that. I thought it was CGI when seeing it in the cinema, but what I've read online is that it's actually the movie's construction coordinator who bears a striking resemblance to one Donald Pleasance, which is really cool in my opinion to see them utilise the crew in the movie. It's his first and only acting role at the moment, but it's really cool to see them utilise the crew that have resemblance to certain previous characters. And obviously he is dubbed by another actor who can do he's dubbed by the same actor who did the voice for Dr. Loomis in the original in Halloween 2018, because his voice appeared in the beginning of that movie, but he's dubbed by that. But the actor who portrays Dr. Loomis in this movie, the construction worker Tom Jones Jr., yes, that's his name, he was dubbed by the same person who voiced Loomis in Halloween 2018, so there's that. But another highlight for me personally is John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davis' score, which is just as fantastic as their score to Halloween 2018. And you're hearing it in the background, I actually own this score on vinyl, single LP behind me. I love it. It's so classical. It so sounds brilliant. It's just as good as the Halloween 2018 one. I do think it works in a lot of places. I love the track Unkillable, which you're hearing now. I tried to use for these two movies pieces from the score that aren't Halloween theme, and luckily enough, these two movies have two pieces like that. They had, I think the Halloween 2018 had 2 singles released, but this movie had 3 singles released before the soundtrack was released fully. And one of those singles was, in fact, Unkillable, which you're hearing now. But it's really great to see John Carpenter, you know, enjoying his series again and writing music for it again, because as far as I'm aware, John Carpenter is one of the best and one of the only composer-director people who do both in the industry, and I think it's really cool to see him do one of those things, at least in the new Halloween movie. He hasn't directed a movie since 2010, so it's been 11 years since he last directed a movie. But yeah, his score was brilliant. It's absolutely fan-fucking-tastic, as always. One of the better parts of the movie, I have to admit. I just love the music here in this movie, and it's just a genuinely fun movie that I can't lie. I had a lot of fun seeing it in cinema. There was issues there. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd because, like I said, the issues with the killing off characters that you introduced almost immediately thing really bugged me up personally. But another thing I want to talk about here is that this movie has way more blood and gore than most Halloween movies, and certainly more than the last one, which fits the character of Michael Myers brilliantly. He does some incredibly brutal kills in this movie, which is really fantastic to see. I think the kills in this movie are fantastic. And I like to see him be different with the kills and stuff. But I think there's another scene in particular I want to talk about here that's quite a serious scene. And there's a scene in the movie where, obviously, in this movie, we're told via a news report that 2 inmates from the bus that crashed in Halloween 2018 weren't recovered. One of them was Michael Myers, another one was just another patient who just wasn't found by the police. And because no one truly knows what Michael Myers looks like, in this movie, the other patient that was out there came to the hospital, and everyone immediately thought he was Michael Myers, so he ran up a set of stairs to try and hide himself, and Karen helped him, but it all becomes too much for him, and he takes his own life by jumping out of a window in hospital. And it's a dark scene, but what it's there to do really is to tell the audience and also the characters at the same time that Michael Myers is essentially driving this town crazy. Look what we've become because of Michael Myers. This town has become insane, and over him as well, just as much as Laurie. So I think it works for what it's trying to portray, but I'm just trying to say it's a very dark scene, but it makes the characters realise something, and that's really good, and I think it works perfectly. But I just wanted to talk about that scene a little bit personally, because I needed to address that little bit thing there. That's all. But yeah, there is I think one of the things that this movie struggles the most with is the stakes in this movie. The stakes, obviously, how it's going to end, what things going to happen, and it's just because with Halloween Ends already announced before the release of Halloween Kills, the stakes going in were basically little to none, because the sequel is known. It was never gonna, anything that they tried to set up and say, oh, evil dies tonight, like that shit, it wasn't gonna go anywhere, was it? Because there is a sequel already coming. Unlike people who went to see the 2018 one and saw the ending and thought, oh, I wonder if there will be a sequel. There might not be. This could be where it ends. But now they announced before this movie came out, before this movie was even made, that Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends were going to come out. They were supposed to film back to back, but they didn't in the end. So they've still got to film Halloween Ends. But I think, like I said, just going into this movie, all the stakes of evil dies tonight, we're going to kill it, it's going to die on this evening. It just wasn't. Like, I was sat there in the movie thinking, sure, you may think you're going to kill it, but there's still one more movie left. So if there's any movie he's going to die, it's going to be the next one, not this one, because then there wouldn't be another movie. It's an issue that I had, particularly when listening to a couple of characters say, oh, he dies tonight, it's going to end tonight, when there's still one more movie. It's just, maybe that's just me, maybe I shouldn't be thinking about that going into the movie, but as for something that was on my mind going into the movie almost immediately, how it was going to affect the next one and what the next one was going to be like, it just was something that really came to me personally when I was thinking about it. Like I said, the whole evil dies tonight thing, it's just going to go nowhere. It was never going to go anywhere. That's just a fact. And that's really just, I found myself slightly disappointed in that fact per se, but not the rest of the movie. I think the rest of the movie is very well done. I like the flashbacks are there for quite a lot of the movie, and I think it works. And I think it is literally a direct follow-up to the last one. Stuff that literally on the same night, literally at the same time and stuff. So a lot of the stuff that we see happen in the first one gets rectified or continued in this one. So Officer Hawkins goes into hospital, Laurie goes into hospital, But there's a whole sequence where we introduced to a brand new set of characters at the very beginning of the movie. And like I said, it's just the issue I have with it is that it's a new set of characters being introduced, and then, well, maybe not 100% new, but characters that we haven't seen for a while, I say. But still, it's a new set of characters for this, in this movie, and they killed off almost immediately. And it's just a bit like, what's the point in bringing them in if you're gonna just kill them off, you know? I would have rather had this movie end with them all standing triumphantly and then cutting to black with him dead on the floor than the way it did with him killing them all and then, spoilers, killing Karen. It's just, why the fuck? Why the fuck? It's fucking pointless, and it pisses me off, you know? Anyway, little rant over. Overall, it's a decent, entertaining picture with great music and over-the-top kills to rival the original. And its intriguing plot keeps it from being forgettable, if you ask me. Like, there isn't... the way the plot unfolds is one of the few things keeping this movie from becoming semi-forgettable, I say. And that's really an important thing to think about, if you ask me. It just emphasises the whole fact that this movie is going to be a shit show. It's going to be over-the-top fucking kills, brilliant violence, absolutely fantastic music and visuals, and that's exactly what it is. And although there are issues with it, like I've said, overall it's a movie that I think everyone can enjoy. Like, I've certainly fucking enjoyed it. Well, and one thing I want to say is I was quite surprised by, both times I saw it, the amount of people who were in the cinema as well. There was quite a lot of people, rivaling nearly the amount of people who I saw the Bond film with, because there was one screening where I saw No Time to Die, and it was literally nearly fucking full. It was mad. Most people I'd seen, it was the most people I'd seen in the cinema since before the lockdown, you know. But I was really surprised with this movie going in. I was really looking forward to it. There was some stuff that like I said, Laurie and the fact of killing off lots of characters and stuff was really stupid, but I found it lots of fun. And yeah, so thanks for watching my review of Halloween Kills. Happy spooky day. Stay spooky, everyone. Hope you're having fun on Halloween, going trick-or-treating, watching spooky movies, and going to scare attractions at theme parks and stuff. So do all that stuff, have a wonderful time, but stay safe as well. Happy spooky day, everyone, and thanks for watching my Halloween special 2021. Don't forget, we've got a Christmas special coming out at the end of the year, or what movie we're talking about, and also we've got Halloween and Christmas specials every year now, so look for those. But thank you so much for watching my first Halloween special on the channel, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills reviews. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Halloween, and stay spooky, everyone. Bye bye for now. Stay spooky, everyone. Stay spooky.